The movement therefore makes the following demand. One, that the National Assembly should review its vote on the age qualification for the Senate and the governors. And this review should be in tandem with the proposal by the movement that the president, the age qualification for the president was 30 years and not 35. The governors from 35 to 30 and Senate to 30 years. That political parties should reserve 50% of party tickets for credible and competent and morally upright youth aspirants across all elections in 2019. The third demand is that the government, the National Assembly, as well as the President, should expedite action on assenting to electoral reform bills bordering on limiting campaign expenditure and cost of securing party nominations. The fourth is that political parties must uphold the principles of transparency, democracy, and accountability in party primaries. To celebrate this landmark achievement, the movement will be hosting a Not Too Young to Run celebration conference on June 28, 2018 in Abuja.
Welcome back. Now, Kunle, let me ask you this question. We're talking about the youth, the youth, the youth. And INEC has been shouting about people going out to register and get their permanent voters' cards. Do you think that with this new law, allowing young people to actually, well, you know, inclusiveness for young people in the political process, that more young people are actually going to show interest in the coming elections and that they are actually going out, registering and collecting their PVCs?
Of course, with the inclusion of the bill, you're going to notice that there will be a slight rise on young people participating, picking up their PVCs. And that's because you, of course, will have people that, they know running for election, and then other people, coming out also that are within their age generation. So, of course, they will be engineered a little bit to push it up. But I'd like to correct something that was said in Lagos earlier about political parties and no manifestos. And like, I would speak for my party. I can't speak for the 67 others. My party's manifesto is available online. My party also in Lagos used e-voting to elect its Lagos State Executive Council. So I feel more youth should pay more attention to things that are going on around. Yes, they are the big two, but they are not the only existing two. There are ideologies that can be found in another set of parties. And I also feel the media itself, that's as regards this bill, the media itself has a part to play. We would like to see senatorial debates. We would like to see House of Rep debates. This is a challenge I'm throwing to channels itself, too.
Okay, it's a challenge that we always take on any time we've conducted some of these debates that you've mentioned. Now, we're going to be winding down in a moment, but tell us, yes, now that we have the law, what should the youth be doing right now?
Now that we have the law, we thank Mr. President once again, and we'll continue thanking him as long as we are alive. We should know that not too young to run also means not too young to be responsible. It also means that we must not take responsibility. And I always speak by giving example. Today, if you go to the entertainment industry, it's clear what we've done to the GDP of this country through Nollywood and all our artists. Things are happening. The banking sector, the workforce are young people. Go to any sector, even go to Dangote, the richest man today in Africa, his company is being run by young people. He trusted them to run it. I was doing a review in 2011, and I went through a Harvard Business Review that says in every board sitting, for any critical decision to be made, at least 30% of the people participating in that meeting should be less than 30 years old. And they broke it down. They went further in Harvard. They said...
Less than 30?
Yes. They said because they are not married to the past and they have no fear of the future. The old person will be, oh no, stop, take it easy, stop. It's good to always have the old to also caution to advise. But trust me, when the fight for independence came up before 1960, if the young people then, in their 20s and in their 30s, were not encouraged by the elders then, we wouldn't have been here today. So, like I just say, you can't give what you don't have. I want to thank all those who have led this country, even in this democracy, from former President Olusegun Obasanjo to late Yar'Adua, to Goodluck, and now we have President Buhari, who has set the pace already, who has distinguished himself by saying, young people, come and do this thing. The point is that you can't give what you don't have. They have done their best. To my understanding, all of them have done their best, and Buhari is doing his best today. But it is now left for we young people to learn from him and his administration and to see how we can take it to the next level. We now need to disrupt the system. We must think without the box. We don't even want a box anymore, because even thinking out of the box is not even it. We don't want any box. We need to bring in our ideas. Most of us school overseas. I was in the US. I was one of the top in my class. And when I came back to Nigeria in the aviation sector, somebody who was even less qualified was promoted more than me. But I'm happy. As the president for engineers and pilots, I know that for 8 years, I sent over 300 expatriates back to their countries. And I can tell you that Nigerians took over and filled those vacancies. And there's no plane crash today. And there is no plane crash today in this country or any incident that is tied to Nigerian factor, because Nigerian pilot or Nigerian engineer. And as a young person, I was leading a neck and neck that 80% of them were even old enough to actually give birth to me. And for 8 years, I was in charge. What am I trying to say? We did the Nigerian Rebirth Foundation launching. We had 66 ambassadors across the globe, 18 governors' wives, captains of industry. We just finished the biggest TV show in the world, the Labor Room reality TV show, by young persons. So we can do a lot. We just need encouragement. We just need to be to be given that platform. I can assure you that Mr. President has done step 1. Step 2 is to ensure that truly, he even, a particular percentage must be given to young persons, House of Reps, Senate, and so on and so forth. With that, because to be honest, we don't have the resources. We can't do it on our own.
Exactly.
We need to be given a platform to go in and learn and grow.
As you